Hey guys, it is Monday night. We've had one of the most epic rallies of all times. Bitcoin's at 88,600. It's moving around a lot. But this episode, I want to go over a presentation I'm going to make tomorrow to the UCLA Anderson School, and I'm going to show you this presentation. I'll give you a little preview of it. And I'm going to make it with my co-author of the book, the big Bitcoin book. Of course, his name is Ben Sigmund. And anyways, I'm going to be previewing this presentation called The Ultimate Asset. Before I do, I want you to please hit subscribe, very important, because you won't miss any of my videos. And I try to make at least 2 videos a week on YouTube. So if you're into YouTube videos, got you covered. Okay. So let's take a look at this presentation. Actually, let me go here. And I'm going to go to... Actually, how do I do that? Okay. And now let's see if I can do that. Sorry, these technical difficulties. Here we go. All right. So this is a presentation that I'm going to be doing, again, for UCLA, and it's called The Ultimate Asset. So first of all, who are we? We're both Bitcoiners. Ben, pretty much in 2012, was starting to mine, got some very cheap Bitcoin. I really got in big in 2019. We're both active on X. Obviously, you may know me. I've got 99,000 followers now. Ben's got 10,000, and I've got 20,000 subs on YouTube as well. We wrote together this book on Bitcoin called The Big Bitcoin Book, which is this kind of coffee table book on Bitcoin. It's fantastic. We sold $200,000 worth of copies in 13 hours. 5 months ago, when we sold the first edition, sold out of that. We've sold over $100,000 over the last week of the second edition. So the book's doing fantastic, and people love the book. My background originally is in Wall Street and startups. Ben's background is IT and development. I have a math PhD from Stanford, and both of us are passionate about Bitcoin. So that's kind of who we are. So next. Well, I mean, you all know this, but let's just quantify it. Bitcoin has had a spectacular run. It was 10 cents in 2010 in October. It's close to 100,000 today, 88,000. So it's basically gone up 1,000,000x in 14 years. Now, if you think about most companies, they start at a kind of valuation of around $1 million. That's kind of like two guys just say, I'm going to start a company, $1 million, sort of your sort of standard, 2 guys, 2 fries, doing a startup. So let's just say we go from $1 million to $1 trillion. That's 1,000,000x. So Bitcoin did that in 12 years, right? Meta, which is Facebook, did it in 17 years. Tesla did it in 18 years. Alphabet, Google did it in 2 years. Amazon in 24, Nvidia in 31, Apple in 42, Microsoft in 44, Berkshire Hathaway in 69, and Saudi Aramco in 86. So if we look at the CAGR to go from 1 million to 1 trillion in that kind of period, you can see that Bitcoin, the average CAGR is 176. It doesn't mean the CAGR today is 176. We'll actually talk about that. It's more like 40 right now, but yeah. So it gives you an idea. And also Berkshire Hathaway, their overall CAGR is great. It's 19%, but it's not something like 50% or anything like that either. So that's kind of, that gives you an idea. Okay, next. So of all these things, Bitcoin is the fastest horse, the fastest thing that's gone to $1 trillion. the power law. We're going to show that a little bit. It's on track to be worth $1 million in 10 years. So it is the fastest growing one of these platforms that the world has ever seen. Okay, now, what's the use case? Why is Bitcoin so desirable? Well, the way I look at it is really has four kind of key use cases. First of all, it's money that you can keep securely away from the government or your ex-wife or a lawyer or somebody that may hurt you, a business partner. So it's private, right? It's secure money. The second is you can take that money, you can send it anywhere really quickly. And third is it can be converted to any local currency very quickly. There's these rails to everything. If I'm in Nigeria, I could convert it. If I'm in Peru, I could convert it. In the U.S., I can convert it. So it's money that's transportable across countries. And because of the construction, it's money that tends to increase in value over time. So it's really an amazing use case for actually wanting to have actual Bitcoin. I say it's the ultimate use case among all use cases because being able to store your money safe from everybody, to send it around, to have it go up in value is just, it's almost like magic fairy dust. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? So has this been successful? Yeah, it's a power law. So if you plot it in log terms, you notice that it goes up pretty regularly and with sort of lower volatility, which means the peaks are getting a little bit lower around the line. And it's growing at about a 5.7 power versus time. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So, but there are other power laws, as it turns out. There's Microsoft as a power law. It grew at about a 4.9 power for 49 years. And it's still growing. It's still going up. The price is still going up. It's becoming more and more valuable, but it's growing less than Bitcoin. And Apple is also a power law, especially after jobs returned. If you look at it from the inception, a little messy, but once job returned in 1998, on a log scale, we're starting to see some dots really line up. We have a 97% correlation for this kind of period. So, I'm not completely, I'm not trying to win any Nobel Prizes here. So, if Giovanni says, well, it's not a power law, I'll say, it is to me for this period. And all I care about is, can I predict the next dot? That's the only thing I care about. The rest is conversation. So why should I buy Bitcoin and not some of these other things? Well, it has the highest compound annual growth rate right now. All these other assets took longer than Bitcoin to get to $1 trillion. So that means they have less power overall. On top of that, they're older. So the power that they did have is going down. Even with Apple, which got a jolt in 1998, and which is now, if you look at it kind of just on that trend, is trading at a 9 power. Because it's so old, it's now trading at effectively a 22% CAGR. So Bitcoin is 2 times that. So Bitcoin really is the best performing asset in the world. So the historical perspective on this is you have these major events: steel, oil, business software, consumer software. They're all kind of power laws, and the latest is Bitcoin. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button. We'll see you on the next side.